Hello everybody and welcome to this week's video. So I recently had a situation where um, there's a very important relationship in my life where it was like very good in some respects, but then in some other respects it was like very toxic. Um, and so it was very difficult for me to process these things. And as it is for like any situation where it's like you have strong good and strong bad, and especially because growing up, many of us, and myself included, we would have this survival strategy of compartmentalizing the good and bad in somebody and not being able to holistically look at it as one. So, like, for example, as a child, like, you witnessed your parents being, like, quite angry and that scared you, but, you're also dependent on your parents for survival. It's easier to almost look at these versions of your parent as, like, two separate people, like the good and the bad. But this prevents you from being able to look at it as one person. And so this can follow us into adulthood where, we find it difficult to like accurately see a situation because, we're looking at it through rose-colored glasses in order to protect the relationship and therefore protect ourselves because, love equals survival. So getting out of like this, black and white compartmentalized thinking and being able to look at something holistically is how we can view things in a more grounded way and to make more, I guess, integrated decisions and not being so going back and forth. Oh, like he did this or she did that, but that was bad, but this was good, and then just kind of going back and forth and not being able to settle on like one narrative. So this tapping and Theta download is for that. If you don't know about tapping, check out my EFT 101 video. Okay, so here we go. Even though I am finding it hard to see this particular person accurately, or I'm going back and forth between like the good and bad sides of them, and I find myself like stuck in processing and overthinking, and sometimes I think that they're really awesome and I wish I could be back with them or be friends again or be like together or whatever the situation is. And sometimes I think they're just really messed up and I want nothing to do with them, and I think good riddance. But even though I go back and forth between thinking this person is a good or bad person, or that they're good or bad for me, even though I go back and forth between these two perspectives, I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. The truth is, I don't have to compartmentalize the good and bad parts of them. I don't need to look at the situation with rose-colored glasses in order to be safe. It is safe for me to look at the good and the bad, the functional and dysfunctional aspects of this person simultaneously. Because I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. It might have served me in the past to compartmentalize people's traits, but I don't have to do that anymore. I can look at all sides of the situation holistically and make more informed decisions. It is safe for me to look at all sides of the situation. It is safe for me to let go of rose-colored glasses. It is safe for me to let go of compartmentalization. I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. I can look at all sides of the situation. I can look at all aspects of who this person is and come to a well-rounded perspective. Because I deeply and completely love, accept, and forgive myself. So, also with that, it's like sometimes like validation is what you need for that. I think we've all been in a situation where, you know, something happened to us and we're like kind of confused about it, and then we kind of vented to somebody else and they said, "Oh wow, that thing that happened to you, that was like really fucked up." And then you're like, "Oh yeah, I guess it was really fucked up." And that kind of helps you process and come to make sense of things. So if you're in a situation where you're like kind of going back and forth between like the good and bad aspects of somebody or a situation, then definitely get some validation from somebody. That can really, really help like your brain settle on a narrative. Okay, so now for the Theta downloads. It is possible to see the good and bad aspects of someone holistically in the highest and best way. I know how to see the good and bad aspects of someone in the highest and best way, holistically. I know what it feels like to see the good and bad aspects of someone holistically in the highest and best way. I know how to see the good and bad aspects of someone holistically in the highest and best way. I'm safe, worthy, and actually, let's just say I'm safe to see the good and bad aspects of someone in the highest and best way. And I live my day-to-day life seeing the good and bad aspects of someone holistically in the highest and best way. And then I do this now. So if you want to download those, just say yes, and it'll be downloaded for you. It is safe to look at someone or a situation without rose-colored glasses. I know what it feels like to look at someone or a situation without rose-colored glasses. It is possible to. I know how to. Live my day-to-day life looking at someone or a situation without rose-colored glasses, and I do this now. Okay, so if you want to download those, then just say yes. And I think that's all the Theta downloads I'll do for today. So just a recap for Theta, it does require a belief in some kind of higher intelligence. And, you know, depending on, like, usually Theta sessions, they take like an hour. So this is like a really short sample of Theta, but, you know, you can feel some effects afterwards. So if you do, just like take it easy, take a salt bath, drink some water, and let it integrate. And sometimes, you know, you might feel a resistance to, like, let's say you say yes to a belief, but you kind of feel like an inner resistance to that. That just means there's like some more digging to do about why there's resistance. So thank you for listening. I hope that was helpful. Let me know how that went for you if you want. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, then let me know. Okay, bye.